Atesh Dile and welcome to Tibet This Week, a weekly feature in English about this week's news on Tibet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Central Tibetan Administration. Let's look at the headlines first. India expresses concern over His Holiness the Dalai Lama's health. 200 members of parliament want Bharat Ratna for Dalai Lama. CTA launches Tibet News Bureau, a full-fledged news and media house. Second 550 Youth Forum shaping Tibet's future to be held in August. A Tibetan elected to vice chair the Asia Pacific Democrat Union. Free to reject any UN recommendations because of state sovereignty, says China. Earlier last week, His Holiness the Dalai Lama was admitted to hospital in New Delhi due to suspected discomfort in the chest. The news led to a huge concern among the Tibetans and his followers across the world. After remaining under medical supervision for 2 days, His Holiness assured that he feels almost normal and thanked all the well-wishers across the world for their wishes and prayers for a speedy recovery. The government of India too expressed its deep concern over the health of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and apparently assured to render any necessary service and assistance needed for His Holiness's well-being. The Parliamentary Forum for Tibet has demanded that the centre confer Bharat Ratna on the Dalai Lama. A member of the forum and former Chief Minister Shanta Kumar in a press release said that the 200 MPs across the party lines had signed a memorandum demanding Bharat Ratna for the Dalai Lama. The memorandum had been submitted to Home Minister Rajnath Singh. He further mentioned that the Dalai Lama had been carrying out a peaceful struggle for the Tibetan people for more than 6 decades and that his contribution has been acknowledged across the globe. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar endorsed former West Bengal Governor Gopal Krishna Gandhi's call to confer Bharat Ratna, the country's highest civilian honor, on the Tibetan spiritual leader. Gopal Krishna, in a write-up published in a Hindi daily, strongly pleaded for conferring Bharat Ratna on the Dalai Lama. CTA's Department of Information and International Relations observed the grand launch of the most awaited Tibet News Bureau on Friday last week. President Dr. Lobsang Singye inaugurated the news studio. The need for efficiency and better performance with regard to the dissemination of information and news on Tibet and related subjects has resulted in the culmination of Tibet News Bureau, which will function as an inclusive news and media house. The project Tibet News Bureau saw its completion with the help of funds and proceedings received from the government of South Tyrol and further aided by the Office of Tibet, Japan and Taiwan. CTA President Dr. Lobsang Singye is currently in Dehradun for a 6-day official visit. Dr. Singye will be visiting various Tibetan settlements and will visit TCV School Selakui. He will also be visiting the Vana Foundation. The Department of Information and International Relations of Central Tibetan Administration is convening the second 550 Youth Forum, shaping Tibet's future, on August this year. The forum will bring together a selected group of 100 young Tibetans from across the globe to discuss and deliberate on CTA's 550 vision. The 550 vision advocates that the Tibetan people will regain their freedom and dignity and that His Holiness the Dalai Lama will return to Tibet. It calls for resolving the issue of Tibet and Tibet's political future in the next 5 years. The members of Asia Pacific Democrat Union recently elected Tenzing Dharke Khangsar as the vice chairman of the union, making him the first Tibetan to represent in the union. His major role is to hold the principle and goals of the union, which shares a common principle of the International Democrat Union. Dharke says He is committed to advance and advocate on human rights for Tibetans inside Tibet. He will serve as a vice chairman of the union for a period of 2 years. The Asia-Pacific Democrat Union is an international association of member parties close to the International Democratic Union. Earlier this month, the Human Rights Council held the first intersessional seminar in Geneva on the contribution the HRC can make to the prevention of human rights violations. During the discussions about the role of the Universal Periodic Review recommendations and the prevention of human rights violations, Kunchok Yakla, on behalf of Society for Threatened People, raised concerns about the member states claiming some recommendations as already implemented when other credible sources show otherwise. She expressed concerns that a joint submission on the gross human rights violations in Tibet was removed without any transparency in the process, preventing UN member states from having access to any of the facts and objective information presented in the submission as they prepared their recommendations. This is the end for this week's bulletin of Tibet This Week. See you next time and have a great weekend.